Now, this fire at the Old Parliament House in Canberra today, it looks absolutely like arson, but we've seen a pretty disgraceful comment, I think, by Greens Senator Lidia Thorpe. Now, you'll remember Lidia Thorpe from when she said some pretty vile comments about a Liberal Senator, Holly Hughes, not that long ago, about keeping her legs shut. Well, Lidia Thorpe has now said about Old Parliament House being on fire today. She says, quote, "Seems like the colonial system is burning down. Happy New Year, everyone," end quote. Honestly, well, I've got Jason Falinski. He's the Liberal member for Mackellar. Jason, you have to say that's beyond the pale.
It is beyond the pale, Chris, and it makes no sense. She is a senator in the Australian Parliament. If she honestly believes that the institution is that broken, then she should resign from it today.
What do you think? Is it incumbent on Adam Bandt to do something about it if she won't?
Mate, I think that Adam Bandt, if this was said by a Liberal senator, if this was said by a Labor senator, Adam Bandt would be calling for their head on a block. I know this puts him in an invidious position, but this is what leadership is about making the tough calls. And if he won't stand up to powerful forces within his own party, then how will he stand up for ordinary Australians when it matters?
How can we take the Greens seriously? Comments like that, not only can you not take seriously, but they border on being dangerous.
They absolutely do, because no matter how legitimate the cause of what the protesters were protesting about, there is violence is never the answer. We know that through history. And what this does is it endorses violence. It somehow says that this is part of political speech. It is violence against an institution, which as I said at the front end, she is a member of. If she really believes the institution is that broken that it deserves to be physically burnt to the ground, then she should resign from the Senate today. When you have members of Parliament who are meant to be leaders in their community, showing leadership, making irresponsible comments like this, I think it becomes incumbent upon all of us to say, no, that is not right. What happened today is wrong. No matter what the message, you have done harm to your cause. It is not something that any Australian should be involved in. And quite frankly, it is not part of our public discourse in Australia.
Were you sad to see Old Parliament House on fire today?
Mate, I was incredibly sad to see it on fire today. That Parliament House represents, or symbolises, I should say, what our democratic hopes for a more perfect nation were when this Commonwealth was founded in 1901. Now, some will say, it wasn't built for a number of decades after that. I get that. But that is what it symbolised for many, many years. And when we start trashing the symbols of our democracy, the symbols of our promise to all Australians, then we start trashing ourselves. And that's not acceptable. It's not acceptable from anyone, much less an elected official in the Australian Senate.
We start trashing ourselves. Jason Falinski, I'm going to leave you there, but they are wise words, and I think it would be wise if Senator Lidia Thorpe from the Greens had a very long, hard think about whether she is fit to be in the Parliament of Australia, because I don't think being a cheerleader for someone setting fire to Old Parliament House could possibly be okay for an elected representative.